Yo guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. Today's video, I really just wanted to talk about something I got a problem with when it comes to games nowadays. And I know the whole thing about fucking about Master 6 when I was like, oh, he always complains about there being no games to play. That's not my problem. There's plenty of games to play. You can go back, play old things if you don't like the new things. There's plenty of good new games coming out or that are out. And that's not really my problem. My problem, to put it short and simply, is the fact that when you buy a game nowadays, you're almost not getting a whole game. You got little fucking things of DLC here to buy. Sometimes, which recently became a common thing, is that they, for whatever reason, lock you out of previous content if you don't pay them, which at that point the game should just have a subscription model. Destiny did this a lot, and I believe they still do this with Destiny 2, but I bought that game at launch and didn't like it, so we're not even going to be discussing that. Anyways, so when it comes down to it, back in the day, a game would launch and there was no internet to put out updates and shit like that. There were expansion packs, but you'd have to go to the store, buy a disc, and it would be that expansion pack or that DLC. COD games did this. I believe Medal of Honor did this back in the day on the PS2. Battlefield did this with Battlefield 2 and their DLC. They had expansion packs, and it was pretty much just a game built on the old engine with shit like that. But nowadays, it's not an expansion pack. It's not an add-on. It's not a bonus. A lot of the time, it just locks you out of shit, or takes away features that were in the previous. Something like The Sims, you can see here. Why the fuck does it cost that much to play The Sims? And half of that shit was already in The Sims 3. Fighting games are some of the worst fucking examples of this practice, where I don't even buy fighting games at launch anymore. I wait a year or two, which is why I haven't bought Mortal Kombat 11, which is because they have that yearly season pass. So at that point, until the next Mortal Kombat comes out, there's no reason for me to buy that game just to continue pumping money into it so that I can have all the characters. What I normally do is, like with Mortal Kombat 10 and Mortal Kombat 9, I wait a year until all the DLC characters are out, until everything's out, and they always do that package deal like Mortal Kombat 9 Complete Edition or Mortal Kombat XL. They always do that deal that comes with all the characters. But something that's been popularized recently isn't, you had the season pass, which was like, hey, give us $50 and you get all the DLC, everything, save maybe $5-10. Nowadays they have yearly seasons passes, so you have a year one season pass. I believe the first example of me seeing this was Rainbow Six Siege with the year one pass, year two, you guys get the whole thing. And then I slowly started noticing it creeping up in other games, Dragon Ball FighterZ, which is a really, really good fighting game. It does get a bit repetitive, but I'm not here to review that game. Anyways, that game, yearly season pass. There was a Naruto Striker game that had a yearly season pass. I believe Street Fighter has a yearly season pass. If I'm mistaken, please leave it down in the comments below. And yeah, man, it's just a really shitty practice, because when I buy a game, I want to have everything in there, and I don't want to have to basically spend my entire bank account to have everything in there. Again, another example of this is something like Payday 2. Payday 2 is definitely one of the worst offenders. I bought this game back in, I believe, 2017. I had it on Steam and PS4. I had all the DLCs at that point. I believe the newest DLC was the H3H3 character pack for Payday 2. Anyways, uh, that was the newest pack, and you look now, and it's just like, what the fuck? Why are you still? And like, it's cool that they're still pumping out and supporting a game that old. I believe it came out 2012. I was fucking young when that game came out, and they're still supporting it. That's crazy to see, and there's still a fan base. But when the DLC goes over the amount of, I would say, $100, that's already too much DLC. If I have to buy the game, let's say at $50, and then there's $100 worth of DLC and a season pass that doesn't even give me all the DLC, which is probably like another $50, and I'm spending $200 just on everything. That's too much, man. That's way too much DLC. A lot of that shit could have been in free updates. I've noticed a lot of these games will drop DLC and it's just a free update. COD games are some of the worst for this because basically every year a game could have just been a free update. The last game that felt new was Modern Warfare, and let's be honest, you guys know my opinions on that. That game was, to me, that's the worst Call of Duty, and they just keep getting worse as it comes out with Cold War and Vanguard. I was about to say World War II, but you know that's three games, the most recent COD games, have been some of the worst, shittiest fucking Call of Duty games. I would have preferred if they just released Ghost 2. That's how fucking bad they are, in my opinion. And yeah, like I said, they're basically every COD game is just a free update for the last year, but it comes out and they charge you that $60, or if you're Canadian, it's like $80. And it's fucking ridiculous because it's like I said, man, games nowadays just needs to come out and give me a full package and treat DLC as something that adds to the game, something that adds value to the game, not just something that gives me, oh, here's 4 more maps, here's a fucking a new Dragon Ball character, you know. It's just fucking stupid. To boil it down. Here's a new gun, here's new this. Like, there's a lot of games that release stuff like that that are just free updates. And yeah, full price games just in general need to stop following a free to play model where you're buying skins, where you're doing just fucking ridiculous shit. There's in-game currencies you have to buy. A $60 game should not have the same business model as something like Fortnite. But the thing is, because of how expensive games are to make, and there are more and more people buying games, obviously, the gaming community is growing and growing and growing, but it's, with the pace it's growing, it almost feels like, for them, it's not growing at the rate where they can just keep charging you that $60, which is why you had those amazing expansion packs for games back in the day. Even on the 360, you had shit like Skyrim with their fucking Vampires DLC, which is really fucking cool. Nowadays, you're lucky if you get a fucking gold camo and some new maps. And you can even look at games like, you know, compare Black Ops 1 to Black Ops, I'd say Black Ops 4, you know? Black Ops 1 to Black Ops 4. Black Ops 1 launched with a campaign, a multiplayer, I believe 3 zombie maps, maybe 2 in Dead Ops Arcade. Let's say 2 zombie maps, Dead Ops Arcade. Black Ops 4 dropped with just a multiplayer, a zombies mode, and I believe Blackout came later on. And, you know, it's like, I paid the same price, $80 back then. Well, without inflation, obviously, and I'm getting less. So technically, I even paid more than what it cost back then. and I'm getting a shittier deal every year. They just seem to be cutting out content, and they're not even making up for content with good DLCs. It's just games nowadays need to focus on launching as a full product, not a cash cow, not a cash grab, whatever the fuck, a live service. Games need to be entertainment, and they have to come out as a full game. If you're charging me full price, a full game. That's why a lot of the times people in reviews will be like, yeah, this game is good, but if the price is like 40, $20, I'd feel better about recommending it. That's because the game doesn't offer enough content to be a $60 game, a $80 game. If you're gonna charge me that, I'm expecting a certain level of content, at least content. And if it's a good game, it's gonna be at least good quality content. A lot of the games nowadays definitely don't offer you quality, and they definitely don't offer you fucking content. Sorry, I'm a little fucked right now. Anyways, that's just my little rant for the day. I hope you guys enjoyed. This was on PC. I really just wanted to make this. I had this video idea like quickly, but I figured out how to record a PC gameplay because I had to fight with it for a bit, and I just wanted to make something quick, short, simple, and yeah, like and subscribe, guys.